Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica and this is Ask Me a Question. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, make sure that you do at gginfo777. Alright, so let's jump right into it. My first question was submitted by my high school friend mmlulu88. And the question is, how are you managing co-parenting with your ex? So this is a great question, Mary Lou. Thank you for asking that because it's just like real life, and it affects children. I think co-parenting is just something that for me made sense. Like it made sense because I was thinking about things not just from my perspective, from my daughter's perspective, as well, and making sure that she could have a well-balanced relationship with both of her parents. So for me, co-parenting was not a question because of that, because I know the importance of having a good relationship with both of your parents, regardless of whatever is the relationship between him and I came to that realization once I saw where my relationship was heading. So the dynamic of my relationship obviously has a lot to do with my ability to co-parent, because I gave so much of myself during our 6 years together, and I'm sure that he did as well. There were certain things that he did that obviously made things worse, that were like major steps backwards, and I still tried to work with it, and it was just exhausting, and it was draining me, and what I was experiencing was not a concern. So I had to do what was best for myself, and so in that, co-parenting just kind of naturally comes into play, because it's like, okay, well, this relationship is not working, I'm not happy, we're not making each other better people, so the best thing to do is to go our separate ways and end the relationship as a romantic relationship. And I was still open to being friends, because at the end of the day, I married this person, so I love this person and I care about this person. It's just that obviously things are not working out between this person and I and their family. And it's been 6 years and there's no progress. In fact, things are just as bad. So it's a matter of like just having common sense and being like, okay, this isn't good. So the next step is, let's just be friends and raise this person the best we can. If you know me, you know that shit got really nasty, and my ex responded in really unexpected ways, is what I will say to that. And so for a minute there, it made co-parenting a bit of a challenge. But at the end of the day, it helped me, because I was trying to still be friends, and maybe that would have made things a little bit more complicated to some degree. I don't know. The point is that, when I look at my ex, it's just my daughter's father, and there's no love or hate. There's just very blank and neutral. So co-parenting is not really a problem. I feel like I am able to manage it in that sense, where like my emotions to this individual has nothing to do with my ability to be a mom, to be a good mom. If anything, it allows me to be a better mom, because I am able to care for myself and surround myself with the positivity and the good energy that I need to be a successful person, to succeed in the things that I want and to make my dreams come true, which at the end of the day, like, that's what I want to show my daughter. I want to show her that taking care of yourself and setting yourself as a priority, caring for yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, making your dreams come true, and wishing good for others is how we do things. So co-parenting is pretty good. There's the mutual understanding that we care for this little person that we're responsible for. That is the ultimate job, is to help this little person have a happy and beautiful life. And if you're both not on that page, then there's a problem. The next question: what is something or someone that cheers you up when you're feeling down? And this question was submitted by my fairy goddaughter, fucking Nayeli. Thank you for submitting that question. That's also a really great question because we all go through shit. And I think especially right now where like everyone is going through a lot of emotions. We're going through a lot. And I for sure try not to rely on anybody to cheer me up. I try to rely on myself to cheer me up. And so I've created this formula that just really works for me. Because yeah, of course, like people cheer me up. I have a handful of people that instantly can cheer me up, just like the thought of them or talking to them or seeing them just cheers me the fuck up. And that's like, I feel like I want that to stay a bonus thing. I want that to just be like that, like extra happiness and extra cheerfulness that comes into my life. I don't want to be dependent of anyone. I don't want to like rely or like, you know, drain anyone for me to cheer me up. So my formula to cheer myself up consists of nature, music, dance, mantras, and singing. So that's my high five of ways to cheer yourself up. And so for me, nature, Pachamama, Gaia, Tonantzin, Mother Earth, she is this magnificent, grand being. I've developed this really amazing bond and relationship with the earth, with God, and whenever I am feeling down, honestly just like going outside and looking at my fig tree or looking at the clouds or feeling the wind or feeling the sun on my face, seeing the colors of the flowers and the grass, like seeing a butterfly or like seeing a hummingbird drop by, like little things like that just instantly cheer me up. They fill me up because I hear her and I feel her, and it's so loving and so like spiritually soulful, and that obviously just like it lights me up. So for sure, nature. Music is also one of the ways that consciousness, that the universe, that God started to talk back. I started asking a bunch of questions and realized that there were songs that were handing me the answers and giving me the downloads and the understanding, and this was all an inner dialogue, you know what I mean? So it has always been this very magical relationship with music and I, where it's the messenger, it's the interpreter. I also like to consider it a part of Metatron. So I've learned a lot, I've channeled a lot, I've downloaded a lot through music. So music, there's certain songs that will definitely just get me in the right zone and realign me and just like, whoo, okay, yeah, duh, here I am. So music, and then that leads to dancing, and dancing is the way that I reconnect with source, that I like allow it to move through me and out of me, and I share that, and I just like let myself go in it because it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's like, I guess, my way of reuniting with myself. That sounds really weird and crazy, but that's the best way I can describe it. And then dancing, dancing, mantras. Mantras are really big. Mantras were so helpful to me, especially in the beginning, and they became very important like midway, like if my life was a movie, and in the middle, when like it was like shit was really, really dark, as I started getting like constant sleep paralysis. And so whenever this dark entity would start to creep into my auric field, I basically programmed myself, or subconsciously programmed myself to start chanting in my dream. And I realized that the minute that my subconscious would start chanting, whatever negative dark energy field was starting to come into my aura, like it would disappear and my dreams would go back to being my dreams. So I feel like it really helps with like psychic attacks, and it really just helps like clear and cleanse and align your body, realign your body to who you are in your essence, which is love. And so Hue Mantra and Om Mani Padme Hum are my two favorite mantras. There's definitely other ones that I do like, and YouTube has tons of really great videos. But for me, Hue Mantra was huge. Like that just, I feel, was like level 2 of like opening up my third eye. I feel like there was like 3 levels where I really knocked it out. But Hue Mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, I'm gonna add them down below, and if you have any further questions about it, obviously just send me a message or comment below and I will answer that for you. So mantras like that just, I feel, was like level 2 of like opening up my third. Hue Mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, I'm gonna add them down below, and if you have any further questions about it, obviously just send me a message or comment below and I will answer that for you. So mantras, which leads to singing. Singing obviously helps cheer me up. It puts me in a higher vibration. It just kind of like helps. I think also there's a lot of power in your voice, and there's a lot of power in the resonance of your voice, which is why speaking your truth and like communicating is so important and empowering, because you're literally like, your vibration, it helps clear your body of things that don't belong in it. So you saying things out loud, whether they be good or bad, like it creates an energy, and it can do a lot. So singing is very powerful as well. It's also really fun, and I in no means think I'm good at singing, but I do enjoy it and I love what it does to my body. So that is my formula for how to cheer myself up, and that consists of music, dance, mantras, singing, nature, and of course family and friends. But those are just the bonus. We don't want to be codependent or rely on anyone to cheer us up. All right, and the third question is, how do we find the meaning of life? That question was submitted by @LunaTheHuman. Also a really great question, and that's why honestly it took me a minute to like respond, because I want to be able to give you guys like some good answers, not just like blah 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 blah. Like, no, I want this to be like some solid concrete info. So I do like meditate with the questions, and I take my time with it, even though there's a part of me that just wants to like let me just share with them and do it. So how do we find the meaning of life? First of all, how do I find the meaning of life? How did I find the meaning to my life? I found the meaning to my life by asking questions. I started asking God lots of questions. I started asking, what is the meaning of my life? Why am I here? I started to look at the things that made me feel unhappy, things like politics, laws, gender roles, you know, all of this inequality and racism, and these things bothered me. They still bother me. So I knew that God was trying to show me that there was something there for me to dig into within myself. And so the more that I started to ask the question and I started to get more answers, it's like putting a puzzle piece together. You know, every time you ask a question and you get an answer back, it's like a piece to the puzzle. And so the more that you get to see of the puzzle, you know, the bigger the picture is in your mind, like there's more trust that grows from having this relationship with God and spirit and yourself, and like trusting and having faith. And so for me, I found the meaning of my life by doing that, by meditating, by asking serious questions, by listening, by observing the opportunities that came my way, by observing my environments. I started to realize that like for a while I was trying not to be a nanny, and I was trying not to babysit, and I didn't want to do that line of work. I didn't want to work with kids. I was just kind of like, I wanted to work with adults, you know. You just kind of get tired after a while. And kept finding myself, like, I would stop babysitting, and then they would recommend me to somebody else, and then they recommended me to somebody else, and it was like this little chain of events. And for a minute there, I was resisting, and I was like, no, I don't want to keep babysitting. Like, I want to get another job. Like, I want to get like a regular job, like, you know, because I wasn't seeing things in the right perspective at the moment. Like, it was still kind of immature, so I didn't quite understand that. And so the more that I started to ask, like, I started to see, and then it just all made sense. And so that's how I've been able to find the meaning to my life. And so now I'm just kind of flowing with it, because I know, and every day I walk it and it feels good. So regardless of what goes on around me, I can go back to my center and know that everything is divine, and I'm exactly where I need to be, and I'm divinely guided and protected, and so is my child and my family and the people I love, and that brings me peace of mind. So that's how I've been able to find the meaning of life. How do we find it? I don't know if it's a we thing, you know. It's definitely an individual journey, and you have to be serious about it. You have to really want it. Like, if you don't really want it, it's not gonna happen. And I really wanted it, so ask and you shall receive. So yeah, be cautious, because it'll come at you. But it's totally worth it, because it just makes waking up in the morning worth a lot. And there's, you know, mornings where we all feel tired and just like over it, but knowing the meaning makes a big difference. So I would suggest meditating, asking questions, get a journal, start writing things down and ask a question. Go sit outside and, like, you know, look at the clouds and just see what comes to you, and then write it down. Make a video about it. You know, observe yourself, observe your environment, observe what you like, observe how you feel when you do certain things. Like, I realized when I was like 24, 25, no shit, it wasn't until I was like 26, you guys, or 27, that I realized that 27, okay, when I realized that I love gardening, that I love getting my hands in the dirt, that I love planting trees, that I love trimming. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm 27 years old and I'm just now learning this about myself. Like, why didn't I learn this when I was 17? Like, it would have helped me a lot, because I feel like I would have made so many different choices around my career and around my life and what I do every day. So it just goes to show, though, that, like, it takes time, and you just gotta be honest and real with yourself and really want it. And at that point, I was I got a little sidetracked because of my whole relationship thing, but that was just kind of part of the training that I needed to overall get into the meaning of my life and really, like, hone in my gifts, you know what I mean, so that I can apply it now that all of this shit is happening. So I'm grateful for everything, and I think that also helps with the co-parenting, and it helps with cheering myself up, and finding the meaning to my life contributes to all of that. So these 3 questions honestly are just so great and so beautiful. The way that they all mesh together is, like, awesome. You guys didn't know that, but you asked those questions, and thank you so much. So I hope you guys found this useful. And again, if you're not yet following me on Instagram, make sure that you are at gginfo777 for that. So turn on the notification. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up, and comment below. Let me know if it was helpful. Let me know if you have some tips for co-parenting, what works for you guys, or what doesn't work for you guys, and what are some things that you use to cheer yourself up. And have you found the meaning of life, or have you found the meaning to your life? I would love to know. God, next video I'm also gonna do a video about prayer, you guys. So yeah, turn on your notifications and subscribe. Love you guys.